Ding! Hello, hello.
Hello, my name is Michael Pez.
And I'm Chantele Francis.
And welcome to Realness's review of the new edition of Ghost Island Survivor, season 36.
36.
Ooh, Ghost Island. I have a ghost. I just found this in my house. I'm a dork. That's how much of a reality nut I am. I have a friggin' ghost. And I was like, what do I have that I could like bring into the show and stuff? I'm like,
and he's
eating rice. I got a ghost. I think I got a skull over there. I'm gonna figure something out. Anyway,
I just got
so overall, I have it on my. What's that? Go ahead.
So this season, it's like talks about one bad decision can haunt you forever, and it's on the island of Fiji. And so Ghost Island basically is a graveyard for previous bad survivor decisions. So it was always speculated before the show, like what's going to happen and how is it going to work. I'm into it. As a survival fan, I liked the fact that we're reliving some of these iconic survivor moments that were like, why'd you do that? You should have played your idol, like screaming at the television screens for. I'm interested to see how they're going to bring it in.
This would be the season that you and I would be on.
Oh.
Like, this is because I feel like they're all fangirling and geeking out on the fact of they remember these like moves, these legacy advantages, the moves where someone had an idol in their pocket and they got voted off. They remember those moments. So this is for like the super fans. This is a great one because there is no returning players, which is fantastic. Thank God, my favorite thing. And then also, but the good thing is that you're reliving. It's almost like an all-stars fuck ups, and we're like watching them, and it's great because you get to like sit back as a fan and watch. Oh, I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. But it's new people dealing with that. It's great. Mm-hmm. It's like the show Lost. It's almost like the show Lost. I don't know if you ever watched Lost.
I got lost.
It's very similar, I find. Cool.
When I was watching Lost, it was like I was watching it and I watched it religiously, and then they would go like back, like it wouldn't be on air for like 2 weeks, and then they would go back 4 episodes and then replay 4, and it was just like all over the place. And then like all of a sudden it was current, and then like these numbers, and then like I was like, you lost me. But I was not lost in Survivor. And so the whole premise of the show is finding ways to reverse all these curses that have gotten people voted out of the show.
Great concept. Because I wonder what the next season will be. Because like it's always just like, if this is going to redeem all those things, then the next one's going to be like super cool.
Absolutely. Sorry?
So right off the get-go. What's up? Sorry, go on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, right off the get-go, all the survivors, all the players come onto the beach, and they are already separated into 2 tribes, the Malolo tribe and the Navidi tribe. That's how you say it, I guess.
They never made it.
Yeah, a Navidi tribe. And then Jeff basically just says, okay, here's your first challenge. Welcome to Ghost Island.
And so basically, I remember when I was watching this, I did not really understand what the hell was going on. I thought it was quite convoluted of a challenge. So I could be wrong, but let's see if I can thumb my way through this. So each tribe has to pick a person to represent their tribe, a leader, we could say, as some sort. So the orange bus, which is Malolo, they pick Brendan on my team. And on the purple bus, which is Navidi, they pick Chris, which is the model, which is on actually your team.
Which was funny because actually every single person was a pick that you had versus the pick that I had.
Right? I know.
That was great.
I know, and like even when people were starting to talk and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, good. They're both on my side. They're not gonna, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. I was like, it played off a lot more in this show, like having
I enjoyed it more.
Yeah, invested effort and interest, because I'm like, okay, yes. Okay, they're gonna work together. Yes. Like I was so
I was enjoying it more because I was like, because some of my picks you, excuse me, didn't like at all. You were like, you picked that person, and I'm like, yep, but look at that one. Yeah, good, yeah. And I was like, she doubted that person. And I doubted some people too. Like when I picked Chris, you were like, the model, and I went, yeah, the model. Oh my God, she has me doubting. And then all of a sudden, Chris is fucking hot, and Chris is awesome. I'm like rooting for Chris.
Yeah.
But it's Chris versus Dominic, so there you go.
Oh boy. So okay, so they have to choose people from their teams, like these two leaders now, to run in an unknown challenge. So they had to pick someone that was physical. So for the physical, Brendan picks Michael to do the physical portion of the challenge.
that is my top pick. And your top pick, my top pick, yeah.
And then for the puzzle, he picks Laurel, my tribe.
Yeah.
And then Navidi, that is Chris, he picks Sebastian for the physical and Desiree for the puzzle. And okay, I had to say this, but like, they both picked the black girl for the puzzle. Is that so that they don't win the puzzle, that they can kick off the black girl with good faith? I mean, I know that's just like my take.
Oh, come on. No, it was just like Desiree said. Desiree's like, why'd you pick me? Just pick me because I'm a little different, and then I have blonde hair. I look artistic. Like, what is it? What? Why'd you pick me? Don't pick me for. I don't know. I'm good at puzzles. But I like that one girl, Morgan. She's just like, don't fucking pick me. Don't pick me. And like, that was good. Like, don't pick her.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think people actually all turned around with that point and be like, nope, I don't want to do the puzzle. That'd have been funny. At least like they'd be clear, you know? But anyways.
If I had known that, are you good at puzzles? You're good at puzzles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I would be, if it's like, they didn't get to see what kind of puzzle it was, but I can do those slide puzzles, no problem.
They're so easy. I think people don't know about slide puzzles, and they think there's like some magic like cipher, and then it will all just like go into the right place, but you actually have to place each piece individually. Like,
yes.
Like, that's how you do a slide puzzle. It's methodical, and it's one piece at a time.
Yeah, the key thing is don't play it so that you have like all the pieces on one side. No, you play that top left piece.
Yeah.
And you're just like good.
It's like it's basically going like this. Like that's a slide puzzle. But anyways, I'm good at them. And I enjoy them. So, but I can see how Desiree was doing the slide puzzle, that she was actually never going to get the slide puzzle because she was just like moving things. Like I was like, what's going on here? Didn't you ever get?
And that's why like I agree. Like it's so the whole thing is that the rule is if whoever won got the fishing gear, the eggs, and as well as flint, and they got pretty much everything if you want.
And a shelter kit.
And a shelter kit. And then
lost.
If they lost, they just had a shitty thing of rice.
Right. They would not get the shelter kit, and they would also not get the fishing kit. But if they put a little bit of a wrench into the plans of these two leaders. And so if there's a timer, and if they see the people that are doing the puzzle, they don't feel that they're going to win the challenge, they could pull whatever. Do they pull? What do they do? They actually pull the sand timer?
No, Jeff pulls the sand timer.
To start it.
Starts the sand timer, and that's when people are doing the puzzle.
What is the
You just pull like the piece of wood out, and the puzzle drops.
And the puzzle falls. Okay. And
puzzle falls, yeah.
And then they still are able to keep the fishing kit. So there is some risk and reward. So what did you think about just like even I remember when I was like listening, I'm like, wait, what? I actually rewound it. I was like, okay, let me see this again. So what's happening? I thought it was quite convoluted for like
I just think personally I think that every like this whole show it's every decision that you make will like influence the game or whatever. So for example, Chris's decision is that, hey, Laurel's probably going to get this puzzle, and instead of just going back with a bunch of rice, you know what, we could save this and just like call it what it is.
That we get the
You guarantee it. And I'm sorry, I would have made the same decision. If it was coming down to the end and I thought that my teammate wasn't going to
for sure. No, I would have made the same decision. I just thought it was just confusing when Jeff was explaining it. I was like, what?
It's very confusing. It's so funny whenever I watch Survivor and they like explain challenges. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I tune out. And I don't ever listen to what the hell they're saying. And then all of a sudden I'm like, what do they have to do here? But it's been explained. But for some reason I just don't listen. And I just watch the show and I go, oh yeah, go. But like I should know what they're doing. Like I just never know. So I'm right there with you. It's hard.
And I wrote it down.
Yeah.
So the winning tribe gets everything, and then now the losing tribe would get the fishing gear if that was the case. So the challenge is, the poor guys, man. That's like the physical part was really physical.
I'm in love with Michael. He is like he when he was running, I was like, oh yes, top pick, perfect. And all of a sudden he gets through there, and then all of a sudden it was like, I felt so bad for those guys. Like all of a sudden they were running, and then I've never seen anybody just lose steam. I don't know how hot it is there.
Well, when they were doing that challenge, and after they had gone back and forth a few times, they had to like run through the like up and down on the like those whatever like kind of like mini little hurdle type things, and then they had to dig keys out of it. No, they had to go underneath like.
They had to run through the hurdles, and then they had to go underneath, and then they had to like dig out the key, and they had to do that 3 times.
Gross. And so like I actually wrote down, I'm like, oh boy, Michael might get some medical evac points for this one, because like that's my biggest thing. I'm like, they at least like, they do that, fine, okay, it tires them out. I'd be like, water please. Oh wait a second, there is no water. Boil the water. You don't have any flint. You know how thirsty bears get thirsty. I'm like, I am so thirsty all the time. Like I just need like water. I'm parched. I'm like. At least coconut water is has a lot of electrolytes, and it's very good for hydrating.
Oh well, like I'd be a pocket full of coconuts. Like there's a song, a lovely bunch of coconuts.
So after I think Michael got back first, I believe, right? And then but like by seconds, like they were quite evenly matched in that sense of like.
No, Sebastian got back first.
Oh, Sebastian, sorry.
Yeah, so Desiree had a little bit of time to work on the puzzle, but then it just didn't work out for anybody.
I'm like, ooh, slide puzzle, easy. That's what I wrote.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I want to do that. I would do that.
But yes,
and if it was you and I were doing that slide puzzle, I'd be like, don't you touch that fucking piece of wood. I got this. I'd be like, just give it to me. But Desiree's like, slapping it.
We should have a slide puzzle competition.
Done, you lose.
Oh, really?
Yeah, lose.
Really?
No.
Okay, you guys, you heard it. You'll see it one of these days. We'll have a slide puzzle competition. I'll see if I can find those ones, the small ones that you could use to get in like a loot bag.
Okay.
And like goes on like a keychain.
Okay. Yep.
Maybe one of those. Maybe one of them. On
yeah, I'll send something to you after. Let me write this down here. I gotta send this to you after. It's called Unlock.
Oh,
it's this game I would play on my phone where I like you slide pieces of wood.
Oh, I play that game. Hold on. It's hard. It's hard, but hold on. Where is it? Is it this one? No, not this one. Sorry. Is it? Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I was playing that even today. That one's hard, actually, though. But then eventually, I'm like, okay, I have to think. Sometimes I'm like, I move things around, and then I'm like, wait, just think about this friggin' logically.
What puzzle are you on?
I just started playing this one. I'm on puzzle 14.
Oh, I'm on 12. 12. Sweet. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I just started playing it though because I'm like, this is pretty hard though, but it gets my brain thinking like how to solve puzzles and how to be like one step ahead and like figure out
It's
how.
great. Puzzles are good. The puzzles, like, it's not like stupid. Like, I used to play puzzles. Like, I used to be a puzzle kid. My parents would put me down in front of the table and I would do the puzzles, and it was like a challenge. You know what game I fucking hate? And maybe that's why I'm just such a perfectionist? Perfection. I hate perfection. The worst game ever that you could ever give to someone. You gotta find all these pieces and you gotta put them in the right slots, and then all of a sudden it's on a timer and then it explodes in your face. That is like my life.
You know, I didn't.
All these little things, and I'm just aware that it's gonna explode. My life is perfection.
It really stressed me out. Perfection.
And
but I was a gamer for sure. Like, my mom used to tell me.
Which one?
My mom used to tell me that when I was like, I started doing puzzles when I was like less than a year old. Like I was like, I love puzzles, and so I'd be like 1 year old. Like I could started talking by then, and I'd be like, no, mama. Like if I was just putting a piece in the wrong place at like a year, I'm like,
oh, God. Not it. Yeah. Well, you know, but it's even funny now, like me being the age that I am, and you're watching someone like do something, and you're like, don't do it like that. What are you doing it like that for?
Yeah.
But like, but when it comes to like puzzles or whatever, like, hey, but we were doing that Big Brother challenge, and I was watching you guys do all those little kids puzzles with all like the sounds. I don't know if you played that game, but watching Courtney do it, and then watching Cassie do it, two completely different mind frames. The way they did it, it was amazing.
How did Cassie do it? How did Courtney do it?
Courtney did it by looking for all the pieces, and then Cassie realized all the numbers were on the back.
I realized the numbers were on the back too. Yeah,
so like there was numbers all on the back, and there was all of that. But then Cassie just had all. Cassie didn't listen to all the animal in the beginning, and she didn't get those all right.
Yeah, those sounds though, like that's just talking about that game.
Do all the animal noises, and then yeah.
Sorry, you're breaking up. I didn't hear you. But yeah, no, I remember those.
Oh, sorry, no, I'm good. We're having sound issues.
Let's just go back to the simulator.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because I have no idea what you're saying. Every time I said something, we're talking at the same time. And so we'll just skip that part.
Perfect.
So yeah, I'm like, ooh, easy. It's a slide puzzle. Chris forfeits it, gives up on Desiree, and Malolo wins all the gear. Boom. My man, Brendan, made the right choice.
So why don't we just calculate points right there for the first thing, which is a reward challenge. Do I do that now?
Sure.
We can do that right now. So all those people that are on Malolo gets 5 points. For winning.
Yeah, I got it.
So Chantele gets 5 for Brendan, 5 for Jacob, 5 for Stephanie J, 5 for Laurel, 5 for Jenna, 5 for Libby, and 5 for Stephanie.
Ding, and you get 5 for Michael, 5 for Jonathan, 5 for James.
Yep. Perfect. Great.
Oh, wait, and Jonathan. Wait, did I say Jonathan?
Yeah, you said Jonathan, yeah.
Jonathan, James, yeah. Sweet.
See, that'll be like that's the fun thing about this game with us is that we're going to be able to like might dominate different ways like that. So
Absolutely.
it's totally fair, especially if they mix them all up and they do a buff swap. Yeah.
I'm scared. So what I really didn't like though, so at the end of the when there's just talking, when Jeff is talking to them on the mat, and he asks like, "Oh, would you guys have done something differently or something like that?" And Dominic is like, "Oh, I'm a truth teller," and he raises his hand that he would have maybe made a different choice. I was like, "Shut the f up!" Like, I mean, I get it. Like, you guys lost and you chose whatever. He forfeited the challenge, but like, you didn't like you won everything other than like the shelter kit and fire, I guess. But like, I don't know. I thought that he didn't make that bad of a decision. Yes, he gave up on his teammate, or yes, maybe he shouldn't have picked that person, or whatever. Like Dominic was putting his hand up for, but I'm like, why are you being an idiot? Like, keep your mouth shut. Don't show any of your cards. I hate when people show cards. Like, hey, I got pocket aces. Like, you don't.
They're all okay. So they're all gamers. They're all there to play the game. That's ultimately what they're there for. They're not there for something like African Safari. They're here for they're here to play Survivor. So it's outplay, outlast. So if whatever comes out of your mouth, always watch what comes out of your mouth. Anybody that goes onto a reality show, please listen to what I'm saying. Every single thing that comes out of your mouth is used against you in the game. So watch your fucking mouth. Don't stir feathers and be like, I would have made different decisions. What would you have made? What would you have done, dude? Would you have picked a different runner? No, you wouldn't have. Would you pick a better person for problem solving? Maybe. Cool. And so what you're going to do? Be that guy and not pull the lever and then have your team lose and you would have rice? Then you'd be the guy that made that decision. So shut up.
Yeah, I was really
put your hand down.
I just painted like an annoying little, because you guys already lost, so people are not in a good mood, and then for you to say that like, oh, they made it, like, it just, be quiet.
It's a negative person.
I was like, Dom, you're on my team and you're my top pick, but shut the f up.
Yeah, right.
So I'm Malolo though, and they go back to their tribe, and everybody's super happy. Michael is lying to everybody and says that he's 23.
Good for him. Perfect.
As long as he doesn't tell anybody that he's lying. Yeah.
That's fine. The only time that you should ever say that he lied in the game, hopefully he gets all the way to the end, is when he's doing the jury thing. They'd be like, I'm actually 18 years old. And I think the reason why they said, like, I understand that was a lie and stuff like that, but they didn't need to put that into the show other than no one's going to know that he's 18. And that it being 18 does hit your credibility. It does. It's just a fact. Like, age is, it's not about age. When you're 18 years old, that's like, that's pretty young.
Well, I thought what you were setting up was the fact that you were thinking that the producers put that in the show for the fact that you think he does get to the finals.
Well, I mean, like, just in Endgame, looking at it, yes, I do think that. I do think that when it comes to like editing and stuff.
Or you think that it's going to play out in some capacity. So him saying that he's 23 is going to be an important red herring, so to speak.
I think so. Like sometimes you put it in the show, he's freaking hot though. He's 18 years old. Like, that's awful. Like, I'm just like, he definitely could be. My goddaughter is older than him. So yeah, like he's like buff as shit. He doesn't look like he could be 18. He looks like he could be like early 20s. So yeah. All right.
So yeah, Gonzalez is talking about how she thinks that she comes across as a girly girl, but she's going to be like, she's a little more of a gamer. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I Gonzalez is on my team. Like, I don't really think of you as a girly girl. You don't really come across as a girly girl to me. But if that's what you think, cool.
You know what she comes off as to? You know what she comes off as to me? Is she was the one that I was like, she looks like a bitch.
Yeah. See you next Tuesday. You were kind of.
And I was like, and I literally was like, it was the first time I ever like looked at someone's face in a picture like this, and I was like, I don't want her. I don't want her at all, because I could just. She had this like fake ass smile on her face, and I'm just like, and I'm sure she's a very nice girl, but like, she just was very. direct. And like I said, don't be a bitch. You won't get like kicked off first. So that's a thing that I have. It's all first impressions.
I thought it was interesting though, Jonathan and Laurel making kind of like walking around, and Jonathan talked about it being the first time out of the country, and that like first time like meeting an African American person in person. I'm like, that could be an interesting alliance if the two of them ever like work together. It could be quite.
Oh yeah, and like he's a casting person's wet dream.
That's my God, yes.
Like he is. Remember Donnie on Big Brother?
Yeah.
Come on, that you do that when that guy walked into the room. They were like, that guy. He's on the show. He's gay from Kentucky and he talks like that. Yeah, he's on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on Navidi though, I was really surprised though that Dominic mentions that he used to weigh 270 pounds. I was like, whoa, that's like that's a weight loss. 100 pounds.
Well, I've I lost 100 pounds before.
100?
Yep. I used to be like 90. I used to be 250, roughly. Then I went all the way down to 165.
Well, congratulations.
I looked like well, it was, congratulations. I was determined and stuff. But then when I saw my mom, like, after I'd lost all that weight, and that was back like 11 years ago, my mom like looked at me and she was like, "Are you sick? Are you okay?" Like, she was actually like really concerned because I had lost so much weight. And when I came home, I didn't realize, because I had just gradually not seen it. I was working out and I wasn't eating a lot, and I was doing a children's theater show, but I went down to just, I'll send you a photo.
Wow, I'm like,
gross. Yeah, but 100 pounds, yeah.
Holy Jesus. Anyways, I was shocked by Dominic losing. I got as much weight. And it was interesting when he's talking about like the turning point was when his daughter was born. Like he actually like realized that he needed to take care of himself, like, and live a better life because he's living for somebody else right now. So I thought that was like a nice moment for little Dominic. So Milo and Sam, what did we talk about there? So yeah, Chris wants to align with them, and they're all gunning for Dom. I was like, oh no, please, no.
But like we said, Dom, if you raise your hand, then that's you've clearly drawn a line that you two are not going to see eye to eye, and that's basically it.
Why does he want to create a target? I mean, I know he's like a big personality, blah, but it's just like, if you're that guy, like play against type, please. And then Jacob lets his shoes get drifted off into the sea, the ocean. Like what?
How about when he put the rice in the sock?
Well,
and I was like, dude, like I was like, yeah, there could be a clue in there, but like, gross.
But yeah, like, so, yeah, that's what I wrote. I'm like, oh boy, rice in his socks? Oh God. I really like him as like a personality, but he just needed to just calm the F down. Just relax a bit. Just get to know people. Like, don't go crazy. Did you watch Survivor, Australian Survivor?
The second one?
The one with AK. Or maybe it was New Zealand.
Then no. Well, maybe. I don't know. There's been so many seasons. I can't remember every single person on this one.
It's going to be the most recent season of, I think it's Australian Survivor. Season 2, Australian Survivor. Not
Australian Survivor. Yeah. Oh, no, I've never watched any Survivor.
Excellent. It's actually excellent. Excellent. Okay. There's a lot of episodes though, so be warned. But it's like very, very good. Anyways, there's like I'm not just
same concept?
It's exactly the same.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
It's very good.
Okay.
Anyway, so I just really wanted him just to, relax, calm down, like not be so overt and searching for the idol, just breathe a little bit and be on the show, make some friends, like make people not want to vote you out. That's kind of what you need to do for the first 3 to 6 days. Is like make people not want to vote you out. Make them like you.
But and the whole thing is though, is I think he was just like, he's just like that awkward guy. That so it's just like, I'm sure like he's a lovable guy. Like he seemed like he was, but like he just comes off across as
paranoid.
Yeah, but also why is he being so weird? It's like that. It's very it rubbed people the wrong way. And then are we gonna keep going into the immunity challenge? Do you want to do
I'm just like going with my notes. So like right at that next point is Dom is already thinking that Chris is targeting him, so that's already kind of like his alarms are already going off.
Well, that's because Wendell says, because Sebastian tells Wendell, oh, well, we're thinking about like Dom, and like, oh shit, I better Wendell. They're go tell Dom that, hey, Sebastian said this, and then Dom's like, oh, it's probably because Chris is in his ear, and I gotta go talk to Chris. So then he goes and talks to Chris.
How do you feel about Wendell going to telling Dom?
I don't know. I've never really been put into that situation where it's like I kind of like putting myself in that shoes. I know that someone's gunning after somebody, but they never really showed Wendell and Dom saying, yeah, I really want to work together. Let's work together. They never showed that. So it was just funny how Wendell went and told him. So I don't know. It just, I don't know. That's not the kind of game I play.
Well, I guess like to support Wendell though, it's like he likes Dom and he wants to see Dom stay, and so him going to tell him is like, hey man, like be careful because like this is happening. But I was just worried with Wendell telling Dom because Dom is such an idiot hothead that like he might just go and confront Chris. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna confront Chris and be like, who said that? And it's gonna be Wendell, and all the things gonna be put on Wendell. And you know what I mean? So I was like, I just don't know if Dom is the right person to tell any secrets to. Anyways.
Yeah, I wouldn't like say it was like a secret, but I would say like, hey, you know what? At the end of the day though, like if Wendell does that, it's like Sebastian told Wendell. Wendell tells Dom. Wendell can just let all of them just go like this, and Wendell can just sit back and be like, okay, well, I can sit pretty because they're not talking about me. That's the whole thing. As long as you're not on someone's radar in the first couple episodes of Survivor, then you're golden.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. If Dom had been like, Wendell said that Seb and Chris are gunning for, you know what I mean? Like, it just could have put Wendell in a bad position.
Yeah, so but he didn't. He went to Chris and says, I just want to make sure that we're like totally cool. And like, blah, blah, blah. But at this point, Dom has already found an idol.
Had he already?
Correct?
I don't think so. I don't know. So wasn't it the second episode he found the idol? I didn't write it down yet, so I don't think it happened yet.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
Anyway, so now is the first immunity challenge. And it looked like a friggin' hard one. So they had like to retrieve, like they had to retrieve ropes first, and then they had to pull these like sleds filled with these gigantic life-size puzzle pieces, like over like it was on a track, but it was still like a really difficult terrain. I was like,
oh yeah, well because they had to like when they had to pull it over and down and from afar. So all 10 people had to actually like participate and pull this thing. You could see their faces. Oh my god, like that. I hate doing anything physicality in like heat, and to do something where I have to pull and use all my force. No thanks.
No, thank you. But there is a lot on the line here. Is that someone from the losing tribe will go to Ghost Island? What's going to happen there?
Yes, but they are immune.
What did they know that at that point?
Well, they're immune at that point because they.
No, did they know that at the beginning of the challenge?
No, they don't. They don't.
So there's four people working on the puzzles. I wrote down people's names, but I don't know if that's really that important. But what I thought was really interesting, so okay, after in the end, Navidi is first and they win. So not the same tribe that won the initial challenge, the other tribe, the one where you have the most people on, right?
So if you win immunity, you get 5 points. So Chantele gets.
Okay.
Chantele gets 1 for Dominic, for Morgan.
It's 5, you said? Sorry.
Yeah, it's 5 points each. It's basically we're tied now.
Yeah, actually, we're exactly tied.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right.
Perfect. So everyone gets 5 points, basically.
Everyone gets 5. So basically, we have 10 points each. Or sorry, 5 times 50 points each. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 50. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay, so so Navidi wins. And what I find interesting about this twist is that the winning tribe is choosing from the losing tribe someone to send to Ghost Island. And then Jacob decides to be the champion for the Malolo tribe and is talking about how we're the best tribe in history and we are the winners and whatever other nonsense that he was trying to say.
Yeah, like everyone's faces are like this. What? Like they're all like, look, even his own tribe mates are like, what?
And Jeff is like, so why like you don't even know these people, you know them for the like you haven't even finished the show yet, like how do you know that you guys are the best tribe of all time?
Like he goes, because we are. Oh, you're gonna keep it up. Oh yeah, he's gonna keep it up.
And so then the Navidi tribe chooses Jacob to go to Ghost Island. And then Jacob the dum-dum, decides that he's a super fan, he can't contain how smart he is, or feels he is, that he openly says that they played into my hands, and I wanted them to pick me, so I made myself a target in their eyes. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks for telling your game there, bud.
Idiot!
Hey, guess what? Hey, you know what? Hey, you had 5 cards and you showed 6. We didn't even know that. Cool. See you, bye.
Like,
get out of here, Ghost Island.
I was so happy that they picked
Ghost. Like, get out of here.
Like, he's on my team, and I was really happy that they picked him because I thought that he was going to most likely be going home, and I was like, perfect. Like, now they have to root for somebody else. Like, you know, he has like a chance to save himself for the future. Like, I was super happy, and then I'm like, he opens his mouth. I was like, idiot.
So do you get points because he is immune?
I would say, I mean, he did win immunity. He did get himself on Ghost Island, and you're gonna get 1 for. Yeah, I'll take the point.
Okay, so you get 25 points.
Oh, that's a lot.
It's a lot. Okay,
so how about we just take an actual specific point for like 10 points for going to Ghost Island?
Yeah, if you go to Ghost Island, you get 10 points.
Okay, you know what I mean? Like, just make it separate. Because I think 25 is too much.
Of course, yeah. Ghost Island, you got additional 10 points. Perfect.
So yeah, Jacob goes to #Ghost Island. I like that he was kind of fangirling about like, you know, the urns that were there, and you know, you see like the follow the fire to a game, and I'm like, that must have been like really fun as someone that loves Survivor, being like, what's happening? All these past things, like follow. There's a game. Like, I would have been so excited and nervous, and like I would have been going crazy probably. So they had to.
But like as a fan, like it also like what I do like about Jacob was that Jacob had some really good like confessionals. That's what I liked about his confessionals, that he was able to describe how it looked, and he was like, you could hear the joy in his voice when he was like, then there was all the immunity items from all the seasons. You could hear it in his voice, and I was like, I love that.
I totally did too. So he had to smash an urn, and then follow the fire to the game, and then pick between two containers, I guess we would call them, two like jars, containers, whatever. And so if he picked one, I think it had like that he wins something, or the other one like he loses something. Is that how it works?
Yeah, something like that. Oh, he had to give up his vote?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, I wrote it down. So pick between the two things. If wrong, lose vote. If correct, get whatever is inside.
Yes.
So it actually is Sierra's original legacy idol that she misused by telling Sara Lucina, the winner of last season, about it, who voted her off right after she tells her about that legacy idol. And then Sierra gifted it to Sara, and just so happens that Sara wins the game. Spoiler alert. So I thought it was really cool. Like, I liked that. I was like, yeah, wow. But then I was a little bit nonplussed with how to play or use this legacy idol. Or legacy advantage, sorry.
Well, he had to give it to somebody on the other tribe, right?
So I like the idea of giving it to somebody on the other tribe, but not when you're on Ghost Island being voted by the other. Like, I felt like he should have had something that he could immediately use right there if he wanted to.
Yeah, so you had to yeah.
It should have been used, I think, properly, like how he can hold on to it, and if he goes home, he can gift it to somebody. That's how I think that.
Yeah, that's so much better.
I mean, I guess he couldn't have really even used it as leverage because, like, they were gunning for him anyways. But like, he might have been able to be pulling other Stephanie in and be like, hey, like, look what I found, legacy advantage. Like, let's try to keep me in here till this part, then we have this until later because I have to gift it to somebody on the other tribe or whatever it is. Anyways, I just didn't like the rules for that so much. I really wanted it to be something that could actually help him right now. But I like the whole game and the whole idea of getting all these ghost advantages. Okay, so he revealed it to Morgan, which I thought was interesting, his strategy about that, like somebody that he felt that was going to make the merge. And so I thought it was an educated pick, I'd say.
Yeah, I guess he just was like, maybe just picked the one that he thought was the prettiest. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Like, it wasn't like Morgan did anything.
No, I think he just thought that she was just like likable enough, seemingly, that she would be around to be able to use it.
Yeah.
But what was also interesting, like back at the tribe though, I was quite impressed how Jonathan was like putting some of the blame on Gonzalez, like making that.
Well, she like, he's the one that, like, so what in the puzzle, which I couldn't do one of those puzzles. The puzzles were like a three-dimensional kind of puzzle, and he's like, because I went back and watched it, that he goes, hey, like, guys, the colors are all that, and Gonzalez stops me and goes, hey guys, like, listen, there's like too many people yelling, and she like shushed him, and he was just like, like, I knew that, like, he was pretty vocal. He's like, we lost that challenge because of the whole puzzle, because I was trying to say it, but she shushed me. So I think that she should go home. Because what he's hearing is that he is the weakest out of all the guys. So if they want to keep it strong based off of the tribe, then, like, I'm looking at all of them right now, everyone looks pretty strong and solid, and Jonathan is the weakest man. So
as much as like I like Jonathan as a character, and Gonzalez is on my team, I was rooting more so for Gonzalez to stay in this moment, because I felt that, like, I want to see more of what she could do. I don't think that Jonathan has a shot to win, and I thought that Gonzalez might have.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, true, but that's why she got voted off.
Mm-hmm.
Because then Stephanie's talking, who I love, by the way.
Stephanie?
Stephanie J, yeah. I like her so much. And you know what? There was two Stephanies. Why not get rid of one of them? That's another reason, right? But she's like, hey, who do we get rid of? Like, I want to keep the thing strong, but like, she's strong mentally, and if we get rid of her now, then we don't have to worry about her. We could always get rid of Jonathan next.
True.
So like,
at Tribal though, I was kind of like, Stephanie was like, Gonzalez was like, I'm amazing at puzzles. I should have done the puzzles. I was like, I knew that she was probably already being voted out at that point, so there's nothing really she could do to change that. But like, if you're really going to be the best at puzzles, make sure that you're doing the puzzle then. Like, have you ever watched The Challenge? MTV?
No.
Well, like, everybody, it's very clear. Everybody knows who's good at puzzles and who's not good at puzzles. Like, you don't keep that info a secret because there's always a puzzle in the game. So if you're good at puzzles, you do the puzzles. Boston Rob, he always did the puzzles. It's like she didn't want to stand up and do the puzzle, but then she wanted to say after the fact, like, hey, I'm really good at puzzles. I should have done the puzzles. And it's like, sorry, honey, you should have done the puzzles by doing the puzzle. Like, if you're so confident in your puzzle skills, you should have done the puzzle. Like, there's no way, if I was ever on Survivor, I would do every puzzle. Regardless of whether I knew I was good at that puzzle or not, I would be on the puzzles because I'm a puzzle person.
Yeah, and if they were to say, like, I would not be in a swimming, I would say, if anything to do with swimming, do not put me in. Like, I'm not a bad swimmer. I'm just not a great swimmer.
Exactly. So Stephanie G, like, flat out asked everybody who they're voting for. She's like fierce. No one is talking to Jonathan. Like, man, like, it was pretty intense. And so how do you feel about like her getting up in the middle of Tribal and like whispering to everybody? I was like, what's happening to this game?
It's like, just because you saw it a couple times on another thing, just like, hey, girl, sit down. It's the first episode.
No, I have listened to podcasts where they spoke to her after, and she did discuss about what she was talking to each of them, and she was trying to spin things a little bit. So if I'm not mistaken, she was saying things like, so we're voting for da-da-da, so-and-so said that this is what's happening, da-da-da. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just verifying with people that they're voting for Don. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And saying that so-and-so just verified that yes, I'm doing that. So she's trying to get them to confirm to her in that moment. But she knew that she was going for sure. She was like, nobody was looking her in their eyes, and how they were responding. She, like, yes, they were saying what she wanted them to say, but she could tell that they were not voting for her. Oh, heartbreaking.
Well, is that
out, though.
Get her out of here.
First one out. But I mean, it is building like a nice first one out season of Survivor.
Oh yeah, like I'm in this to win this. Like I'm in it to win it.
No,
like,
first one out.
I'm watching the drama guts right now. She's getting up and she's like whispering in Michael's ear and she's saying something like that. Like, if I was sitting there and I was like having someone start whispering behind me, and all of a sudden, like, and then they whisper to me, and then we're doing this, I'm writing your fucking name down. At that point, it was like, I would have switched my vote if I was going for Jonathan. I would have been like, for Christ's sake, sit down and shut up. Okay, so because of that, she's the first one voted off. So you are now minus 10 points.
No.
So we are back down to 50 each. Super fucked up. Okay, so after that, I
did recognize though that Stephanie J, also on my team, has a lot of power. It seems like what she says and like how she interacts with people, like,
she seems like really lovable though. Like, that's the thing. She's very likable. She wants to be there. She's a strong female. She's not bitchy. She sees it the way it is.
She's a super fan.
She's a super fan. And I like her. Like, I'm rooting for her to win.
Me too. Dom is starting to get paranoid, and now he's out looking for an idol in the dark. You're just like, in my head, I was just like, really? Like, someone's gonna wake up. Like, it has to be. Someone's going to wake up. They're gonna find that you're looking for this idol. Like, they're gonna be like, where's Dom? And like, I'm just like, why does my people have to be so crazy? Just sleep one night. But then
it's that whole like it must be. Well, we played a game together, very similar to like putting stuff off. Your adrenaline's going. Your adrenaline's going, so that little bit of adrenaline will make you go, okay, guess what? It's night. These guys aren't up. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna look for something. I'm gonna go like look around down this trail. And
you
the thing
stick
is, though,
your hands in the dark in any of those crevices?
You're right.
Like,
but that's what I was just about to say. I'm like, oh my God, like medical evacuation. You just like stuck your hand.
Oh, I just think a hornet's. I mean, I guess I don't know. Like it's ant farm, Reddit. I don't know.
I think of snakes, spiders, even just cutting myself.
Or like goofy stuff. Like just like imagine you don't know what the texture or the consistency of something in there is. Like what is that? Like a rotting carcass of a squirrel? Like I mean, there's probably not squirrels wherever they are.
Like I don't think it's as dark as we think it is because it is like the night vision. I think it's just. Like there's no light, there's no like spotlights, there's no
it's the moonlight.
It's moonlight, which is not as dark as it is when it's on a camera. So
well, I think it's Stephen Fishback. I was listening to him talk about the first episode, and they were saying about how dark it is to actually look for something in Fiji. And sorry, they were talking to Joe Mena, so Joe from last season. And like Ball Joe, it's kind of like Tony. They're talking to him, and he says that they're on the same beach or same island. He was on the same beach that Dominic found that idol, and he says that you cannot see anything. He said it was darker than dark. So I am impressed because Mr. Dominic actually pulls it out. Finds an idol in some weird crevice, and he can't read it because it's pitch black out. But he finds the idol to take a look at in the next day. So I believe he buries it, and then the next day he digs it back up, and he finds that it is Andrea's idol that she went home with. And I love how they do like a really recap of like her blind side. They'll be like, oh, "What?" When she's like, "What?"
Yeah, I'm like, it's on my TV right now. I have Brenda's face going, okay.
Man, I mean, I'd hate to be blindsided, but like sometimes they're good, man. Sometimes they're good.
Andrea became the first female to ever get voted off with an idol in her pocket.
Brutal. I like Andrea, so I was sad I remember.
I like Andrea too. Yeah, she's good.
Sad. But I was happy for it as a game move, I think, at that time. So Morgan is talking about like how they have to be careful of who they send to Ghost Island. And then she gets the legacy idol or legacy advantage, whatever it's called, from Jacob.
She's just like, really? Okay.
But Morgan's saying that she has a big mouth. I was like, oh my God, like what's so silly. I mean, she might just be saying that, but like, please don't ruin your game because you have a big mouth and you got an advantage. Like, just zip it.
No, I know. Just zip it. Shut your mouth. Whatever comes out of your mouth, people.
Shut it. Shut up. So you see, like Jacob's now making an idol, and I'm like, I don't know if this is the right strategy to say that you have an idol. I think it would be better to say that you didn't even get to win because you did have that option. So like be like, oh, I did this. I broke an urn. It says I got to play a game. And if I chose the right I would get an advantage or lose. Tell them all the truth, lose a vote or blah, 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 blah. So he could even have said like, I lose my vote here.
Yeah.
And that would make him maybe a little bit less desirable, like, you know, to take a lamb to the slaughter, you know what I mean? Like, and then, I don't know. He should have played that. He shouldn't play that he had power. I think he should have played, like, weak.
Yeah, like, I would have went back and went, like, I didn't get anything. Because I didn't get anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you right now, I would have, yeah, that's what, well, that, yeah, I would have dumbed it down instead of being like, yeah, I found an idol.
And then
tell me you have an idol.
Yeah, like, did you don't have the paper for the idol? Like, oh, I forgot it. I'm sorry. What? You forgot the paper for the idol? No, that's too. Anyways, dumb. So, oh, gross. I like the Malolo tribe was eating the sea cucumbers. I was like, oh, this is so gross. It's not a cucumber.
I would eat, what would I eat out there? I don't know. Like I'd eat like
slug. It's not a cucumber. It's a slug. Like it's like gross.
I know. I remember from like the early seasons. They're like, that's a sea cucumber. They like kind of like that ain't no cucumber.
So gross.
That ain't no cucumber. That ain't no pickle.
Oh, and then when like Jacob's like talking to his tribe, he's like, "You have to believe me." I'm like, okay, the way to believe someone is say like, "You have to believe me." That's exactly how I don't believe you, is by you saying you have to believe me.
And if I was to say, if I wanted someone to believe them, I'd be like, I am telling you I swear on this. If I was actually telling the truth, I actually do swear on things, because especially if I'm telling the truth and someone doesn't believe me, I'd be like, I swear on my own fucking life that I would say, like, you know, like I would swear on something like.
Would you lie about that though? Would you swear on it and not be telling the truth?
No. They're like, no, because I wouldn't lie.
And that's
I wouldn't lie. That's the difference. That's the difference. Because if I lie, then I have to continue to lie, and then like my facts aren't going to get straight, and then all of a sudden I look like an idiot.
Yeah. No, I know.
You know?
It's like obviously like Brendan thinks that it's a fake idol that Jacob showed them, and like why doesn't he have the clue, and like so yeah, it's just bad news bears for Mr. Jacob. At the same time though, now I guess that he has the idol. Dominic is thinking like, oh, I should go build some rapport with Chris. I'm just like, I mean, I get it, but just like let it simmer a little bit. Like, don't like. He's always gonna be like, why is he all of a sudden now wants to like mend our friendship or whatever? Like, what's
and that's what Chris notices. Chris is just like, okay, like you're telling me about an idol, and you're telling me like, okay, you're telling me that, okay. So first he asks him point blankly, do you have an idol? And he goes, no. Lie. See? Lie. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden later he goes, oh, well, maybe to like mend this like thing between us, I'm gonna like tell him that I do have the idol. And like so that he knows. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this fake idol and then give it to him and then show him the clue for that idol, and then I might give it to him, and I'm gonna get.
He doesn't care about the idol, so and I'm like, okay. So whether he thinks you have a real idol or a fake idol, you have a real idol. So he's going to act as though you have a real idol. And now he knows that you have an idol. So, I mean, if your whole play is to get him to be in a position where you give him the fake idol, if that's the play, it would have been more beneficial for him to look like rebury the idol and have him find the fake idol or something like that. Like, if he has the parchment and like he needed to play that differently, because he has the real idol, he can't have the fake idol. He has to have one or the other.
I think that you should go on Survivor. I wish you could go on Survivor.
I don't think I can handle those challenges.
I couldn't fucking handle it. No way. But I'm like, but the way you play the game, like I couldn't play Survivor. I feel like you could play Survivor because that's a great way of like playing it. You have the whole jungle, you have the water, you have all that. I don't know. Are you part American? Are you fully Canadian?
Say again?
Yeah. Are you at all American?
I know. I have two, and my sister and my two sisters are American. My dad has a green card, but no. Not I. But if I ever did, well, I'd do Big Brother.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That in every reality show you do. Like
I would do many. I've been on like some dating reality shows before.
Have you?
Yeah, it was called First Dates.
Oh, fun.
But my episode never aired, unfortunately. But anyways, it's a long story. You still see me in like the previews and the snippets, but like my whole date never ended up airing. Which is
I really wish. So, like, they never aired it, but like, I really wish I could get. Maybe I should try to get. Oh, I'll write that down. Get in contact with Say Yes to the Dress. Because I was the GBF on Say Yes to the Dress Canada, and my episode never aired because the bride never signed the waiver.
Oh, shoot.
It was a very terrible experience. Let me just tell you that. It was awful. It was like, I was fine because I felt like I was the comic relief of the episode, but like really honestly, like it was just a terrible experience. I was like, wow, if this is what reality TV's like, then I don't want to fucking do it.
Slice.
Yeah.
So Dom is really overplaying his cards, and like then he has, even now, like it would have been perfect though for him just to be silent about this with Chris. Like, even if he wants to mend fences, fine, don't tell him about the friggin' idol, because knowledge is power. Like, silence is power. Like, the more that you know and someone doesn't know is the more leverage that you have over him, regardless of whether you're telling him about a fake idol. He now believes you have a real idol to some extent, and that something's weird about it. So to get that weird feeling out, he's going to be gunning for you. And that's just not what you want. You don't want people to be gunning for you.
No. You want to not. I wouldn't say coast, and I wouldn't say scheme. It's basically, you know what? Enjoy yourself out there,
and make friends and relationships.
Take into consideration, like, you're in the fuck. It's like a vacation. You're on a fucking island. You've got the water. You can do this thing. You meet these people. Awesome, cool, you're nice to everybody, and you just like, oh, we're gonna play this game. That's when you like use all those relationships. Don't like fucking like, yeah. But yeah, it's just I get aggravated when people play too hard in an environment that is challenging.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you can plot and scheme in Big Brother, but at least you get to sleep in a nice friggin' bed. You know, at least you get water out of the tap. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these poor friggin' people. So yeah, fucking. So,
but Chris's instincts are glaring off, so it's not working. So I'm intrigued by the fact that Chris really listens to his gut so much, because like, just aesthetically looking at him, I wouldn't think he is somebody that like really listens to his instincts and his gut instincts, and like can sense like his like spidey ears are going on, antennas are going off. You know what I mean? So I thought that was really interesting to see that he's quite in tune with what's going on. Like, he's
and it's also my guy versus your guy kind of thing. Like, it's my alpha male on that tribe versus your alpha male on that tribe. And just by the way, like, we haven't talked about it, but we have to write it down. Dom found a media idol without a clue.
Yeah.
Okay, so he gets plus 25 points.
Thank goodness. All right, Dommy. Okay, so I'm finally up again.
Yes.
So what happened next? Man, there's still a freaking lot going on. So next is they're playing for immunity and reward. And so it's for comfort. Ooh, and a washboard, clean clothes. Like, there's no clean clothes when you're washing it in the ocean. Like, they're gonna be brown. Like, but anyways, at least you can feel like they're clean. And they picked Angela to sit out of this challenge. It's a lot of swimming and climbing and swimming and stuff.
Yeah, that's not. Wait, hold on. It's not the one with the balls.
No, well, they start. They climb up, and they climb up like one of those like whatever rope ladder things, and then they slide down like an actual slide, and then they have to swim. And then they go to, like, there's a seesaw, kind of like not an actual seesaw, but like a platform seesaw.
That falls down, and then they have to, like, run through that.
And then they have to swim again, and then they have to dive down and release the buoys. So first was Morgan and Mike. They both released them. Sebastian goes next. He quickly released the second set of buoys. James is struggling here. He's struggling. And Jonathan, he did the swing part, but he was like quite winded, and he didn't think that he could help, and he doesn't want to be forced to help James.
Oh my God, I was getting so frustrated at him. I was getting so mad. I was getting so mad. Like James was like, okay, I get it. James, cool. You can't get down there. Cool, because you're so winded. But Donathan just sitting there, and they're like, Donathan, go. Donathan, I can't. And I'm
And then like Jeff taking it as a moment to be like, remember the Sari moment a couple of seasons ago where like they made Sari walk across the balance beam?
Yeah.
At the end, and like they just want to have this like hero moment. And like Jeff was just like eating it up. He's like, yes, Jonathan is, the weak link. Let's make him do this and save the day. Like I feel like it's like the Ring.
Yeah.
Jeff see this as a golden opportunity.
And Jonathan, in my perspective, so I guess they get to pick their spots for this whole thing, right? Like, I guess they get to say, okay, who's going to swim and who's going to shoot these baskets? And what are we going to do? Because
I think everybody had to swim.
No, because there's 4 people that are dry on land that are just shooting. So, like, Wendell's shooting, Morgan's shooting. It was just 2 across, down. The next 2 have to go down and swim down and get those last little ones. So Jonathan dives down. And like the thing is, I'm expecting Jonathan to be like, he's sitting there, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Like he's like a merman, just like going down.
And then all of a sudden he like dives in like a perfect swan little dive, like down, and then he goes down, and then he like can't see it. Dude, I'm not a good swimmer, okay? I'm not. But I fucking could have done that. Like, I know, like, I'm not a good strong swimmer. Like, I could swim out to a rock and back in like distance, but it's gonna take me a bit. I'm gonna tread water like this, like a fucking dog paddle kind of thing. But he goes down there, and what does he do? Opens it. All the little things come up, and all of a sudden, like, and then James is like still sitting. I don't understand why James is still treading water. He's still treading water. Like, dude, if you can't do it and he's dived down, go swim, take a breath.
Yeah. Or like hold the edge. Like treading water is exhausting.
Yeah. Oh no, I know. It's just tiring me out more.
Swimming is treading water. I hate it. Yeah. So tiring. I'd rather swim than tread water.
Right? So then Stephanie J is the final one that like swims across. Clearly she's a tough cookie. She gets over. And meanwhile, the other team is all shooting baskets. They're getting
I'll bring it up again. The black folk are shooting the basketballs.
Make them shoot the basketballs and don't make them do puzzles. I don't know. But like, if it was me shooting the baskets, I'm pretty good at shooting baskets and getting aim and stuff. But I wouldn't have been able to do that if it was really windy. And it looks like it's windy, so yeah. I don't know.
Right? I might be better than some, but I don't know how good I'd be at that.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at like throwing things and accurately getting them in. I'm good at those kind of challenges. Mm-hmm. But Desiree just kills it. She's like,
kills it. She gets it for the win. Yes,
gets it for the win.
Go girl! So they won immunity. So that was the same tribe, the Navidi tribe, right? No, Malolo. Right?
Navidi.
For sure? Yeah.
Yep.
All right, because you have more of those people. Okay,
so I get
5.
I get Wendell. I get Angela. I get Chris. I get 7. 1, 2, 3,
why not
4,
Desiree?
Yeah, I got Desiree, Kaylin, and Chelsea. Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, why not these people?
No, I just counted 7 because I was like, I haven't lost anybody yet, so I still have 7 on that one try.
10. Why do we have 7?
7. I have 7 people on the Navidi tribe on my team.
Sorry, I was like, what are we talking about here? Okay, sorry, Navidi. So you got Bradley, Angela. So yeah, Wendell, Desiree, Chelsea, Chris, Kelly, Bradley, Angela is what you got points for.
Yeah.
And
you get only 2. Nope.
3.
You got 3.
Sebastian, Morgan, and Dominic.
Cool.
We're not getting, it's because it's reward and immunity. We're not going to get another 5 for.
No. Yeah, of course. No. That's if it's combined, then it's combined.
Okay. And so I was actually really, 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 really hoping for the other team to be like, hey, it's smart for us to just send the same person over and over again, because you don't want multiple people to be on Ghost Island, and they're going to have to vote out a stronger player. That's how I would be thinking about it. Be like, and I was like, yay, like now Jacob gets to go to Ghost Island again, like 100%. Like, obviously the smartest move is that. And then they chose Jonathan.
I think because they were just like, you know what, Jonathan's kind of weak and stuff like that. Maybe he'll like get sent home because he didn't try to do that. So you know what? Because he was a big hero and stuff, you're not going home this week. So that's what their mentality is.
But I thought that it would have been smarter for them to keep the same person
for sure.
going back over and over again, because you know that Jacobs is the one that they wanted out. And look at they got Stephanie Gonzalez out because of the fact that they chose Jacob, you know? Jacob would have been first to go home most likely.
Yeah.
And they got like a stronger woman out. Now
yeah, especially if Morgan Morgan should have been like, hey, maybe we should send Jacob again. Exactly. We already have that alliance, you know what I mean?
I thought she was going to, but it didn't happen. Jonathan goes.
So
and then back in Tribe,
So does Jonathan get immunity?
Yeah. Oh, he goes to Island, yeah. What was that, 10 points?
Yep. $5, $10, $15, $20, $25, $30, $35, $45.
So while Jonathan is back over or is over at Ghost Island, Jacob's putting in some work with Stephanie. Stephanie and Jacob are like kind of walking around. I was like, this could work for me. They're both on my team. I find Stephanie to be quite smart. Jacob, I think he's just a little misguided, but I think he really wants to be there. He really wants to play. And I think that with a little bit of coaching and a little bit of, he's only 23. So, he has a little bit of life experience that he could listen to and like maybe tone down his game. So I think he just needs like a little bit of a mentor, a guide, or someone to work with to be like, shh, shut up. So I thought that like Stephanie flirting with him for information, and hopefully that was going to turn into an alliance. I was kind of into that.
Yeah. Stephanie was very, I find Stephanie to have a little bit of like a little Parvati in her.
Mm-hmm.
Which is great because she's like I don't remember Parvati being so much good at physical stuff, but
she was pretty good. She won a few individual meetings.
Okay. Like running and stuff. Yeah, but Stephanie's good like mentally and physically, and she's also got that like cute little like girl next door kind of, hey, like how's it going? Like the dark hair and the curly hair, and like she's a fun girl. She'd be a fun girl to hang out with. So she's the perfect person to be like, I'll go talk to him and I'll like try to see if we can get some information out of them. And they were like, oh yeah, no problem. Instead of being like, oh, that Stephanie, she's a little conniver, huh? You know,
they love her.
Yeah, they love her. I like her.
And he just played right into her little game, putty in her hands. I think he was calling her Beauty and the Beast. Now,
Beauty and the Beast.
Pardon?
Hashtag Beauty and the Beast. That would have been like a little hashtag that comes up on the bottom.
Now he tells her about the legacy advantage and the fact that he lied. I'm like, I know that she was doing a really good job with like allowing you to feel comfortable. But knowledge is power, Jacob. And now that they know that you lied, she can choose whether or not she wants to tell anybody about that. She doesn't really owe you anything at this point.
But they all thought he was fishy anyways. He comes back from Ghost Island and like says, I have an immunity idol. And they're all like, okay, so we're gonna flush that out.
And like he tells her about that she gave it to Morgan. And I'm like, oh my God. So now they know she doesn't need you.
Yeah, she doesn't need
Doesn't
you anymore.
need to be that link. When she meets up with Morgan, be like, "Hey, Morgan, I know that you have that friggin' legacy, and let's work together, or let's flush it out and get Morgan to give that shit to me." This is like the Lord of the Rings, like that ring.
And then Jacob's just like, I think we should go after Michael. And I was like, how dare you?
I know you probably were really getting upset about that. So Jenna and Stephanie were talking, and Stephanie actually proposes to maybe keep Jacob, and Jenna was kind of like, well, whatever you want, like I'll vote whichever way you want. And I was like, I know it was editing, but I was like, maybe Jacob has a chance. Yeah, right. But I was hoping for it. I was like,
you fucking better not. It's like, I'd be like, this is gonna be one of those seasons where this guy's just gonna like go through and you're just be like, oh god, they still have him there.
yeah.
Like, he would be the perfect person to bring to the final two.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, though, you're just like, God, no.
Well, even Laurel though was like, obviously in editing as well, was like voicing the fact that she's worried about the strong and the beautiful, and they cut to I think it was like Chip, Brendan, and Mike. Is that who they cut to? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
And like, it was just like, it's true though. Like, I'm not really into Brendan. I know you're in love with Mike, but like, I'm not really like into him. Like, both aesthetically pleasing, but like, I can understand wanting the misfits to kind of get together, like the not them.
Of course, obviously, like physical threats. People that like the big buff guys, the physical threats, those are the people that you do want to get rid of, because eventually, like, once you merge, I like this whole mentality. I think it's changing. Like, Survivor's almost been on for 20 years now. That, like, gross. It's almost been on for 20 years now. So like, why the fuck are like? Stop playing this. Oh, we want the strongest team. No.
Win.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You want the the strongest team, sure, but like, cool. You guys keep picking us off then. Keep picking us off, and like, honestly, like, I understand it's a number. It's okay. It's clearly a numbers game, and maybe I'm saying the wrong thing about strategy, but it's time to like start changing strategies, kids. Like, you pick up these stronger people, because then later on, if you're mediocrely strong, then you might be really good at immunity challenges, and you might be good.
But the only thing though that like I understand with wanting to keep the tribe strong is if you don't lose the immunity challenge, you don't have to make that decision, most likely, unless there's a stupid twist.
Exactly. True.
So I can understand why they want to keep the tribe strong, but like I do also understand why getting out the strong people when you have the chance is great, because it helps them win. Like, I might not want to keep, someone that I would be worried about winning immunity. If I have the chance and the numbers to get them out, I probably would, at risk of losing to the next one.
Yeah, but I think what they should have done, even though he's on one of my picks, I think they should have got rid of James.
That would have been an easy vote.
Been an easy vote. He stuck to the challenge.
And Jacob will always be a target.
Jacob will always be a target. Yeah, exactly.
Anyways,
Jacob's like a little, like, I'm watching him right now. He's like hardworking at camp. He's doing his thing. He's also been to Ghost Island, so he knows his thing, but it's his shadiness in his mouth that got him voted off.
Yeah.
Ultimately, at the end of the game, same with Gonzalez. It's what you're saying in your mouth that ultimately, at the end of it, is what is your downfall in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, fine, you could stuck to that challenge, but if you're not a nice person, or you're not a weirdo and telling your secrets, then yeah, man. So,
tribal council time.
What's that?
Tribal council time. No.
Tribal council time.
I didn't really write that much about tribal council. I basically wrote that, there was a bit of like a misdirect, we'll say, when Brendan was like, is worried about a double cross, or a double cross. And he whispers that to Mike. I guess for the fact that they were at some point thinking of maybe voting out Mike. But That didn't happen. I wrote up, shut up, Jacob. Don't worry, people. Like, I don't know what Jacob said, but that's what I wrote down.
He's just get him out of here. Yeah, get rid of that Seth Rogen looking motherfucker. And then so they do the votes, and not a big shocker, but Jacob leaves, and you don't lose points for losing a person. You just lost a person, so that's it.
Okay, so I'm not as down as I thought I was going to be. I was like, I lost people, and my life sucks.
No, you're not. No one was medically evacuated. No one had an injury. Voted off first, so you can just get rid of that rule altogether now. And no one had a loved one visit. So with the point system currently, right now, I have 95 points.
I have 90, correct?
And I have 75 for you. Oh, sorry, yeah, hold on.
Yeah, the 25 are done.
90.
I believe. Let me just double check. Yours.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I have 95 for myself, 90 for you. Your big point system went to Dom, finding the immunity idol.
Without it.
And bravo.
And Jacob, yeah, and Jacob going to the thing.
What saved me is my all the people.
So, hold on, sorry. Why did I lose 10 for Stephanie? Wasn't that for her going home?
Yeah.
So then I would have lost another -10 for Jacob.
Oh, no, you only lost -10 because she was the first one voted.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
First ever voted off.
Ew.
Yeah, because you just like now are down a player to gain any points.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, like, you could lose 10 points, but, like, it's...
I'm still...
Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't have to lose. You shouldn't have to lose points because your player got voted off. I don't know.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it. So how do you feel about the next episode? Looking like there's going to be a tribe swap.
Yeah, perfect. Good. Let's get started.
Well, I really wish that Jacob just had made it to this part. Ugh. But I also guess I wish that I like Donovan as well. So I guess you can't. I like a lot of people on this season, to be fair. And do you know what? I think it's because we did a little bit of research and we like had to look at them before the game started. That I have invested interest in each of them more so than I would have at this point, maybe.
Yeah, and two girls. So I was talking to my mom about it. My mom was like, so she didn't read about anybody, but so what she likes to do, because we've been watching Survivor like since like the beginning, and we used to do like little pools with the families. So like my uncle would have 2 people, I'd have 2 people, and we'd have 2 people and stuff. And then we would have wild cards. So if you lost both people, there was a wild card person left, you got to have the wild card person. So that was fun. We don't do that anymore because obviously we're like all older and it's like 20 years later. But what my mom was noticing is what she would write. So every time someone would speak and have a confessional, she'd write their names down. But then she was like, I'm missing like 4 girls.
Oh, because they didn't get airtime.
so Libby didn't have any airtime, whoever the fuck Libby is. Chelsea didn't get any airtime, and Angela didn't get any airtime. They didn't speak once. They didn't speak once. And I noticed that too. They like showed their face, go like this. When Jacob was speaking, that was it.
I don't remember.
Who's that girl right there? No idea. I think that's Libby right there. Libby's on your tribe? Yeah. Well, on that tribe? Yeah.
What does she look like?
She's like just blonde and really pretty.
Oh, okay. I actually know who she is.
And then there's Chelsea, the other dark-haired girl that I was like, oh, she looks like a bitch. But she didn't speak once. She's my last pick. And I realized that she was the last pick because she didn't look like she was anything. And then Angela, the one you were like, oh, that older lady, like the 42-year-old lady that like that one. Like, she didn't do anything either. She didn't say anything. So like, great, she's gonna get kicked off soon. So we'll see what happens. Who's that girl? Who's that girl? I was
Kelly.
like,
Kelly.
There's another blonde girl that I don't know.
Kelly.
Laurel.
Oh.
Laurel, Libby, Chelsea, and Angela did not speak once.
At least
and if they did, they said, "I can't believe I'm here." The one girl. So just talking about a few people that we didn't talk about, just like really quickly. I love Kaylin. Kaylin's a little sweetheart.
Helen.
She's the one that's like, Ghost Island scares me, and I'm like this girl, and I'm like this, and I got divorced or I broke up, and I'm doing my own thing, and I'm like, she's cool. I like her. Jonathan, sweetheart. Desiree, she shoots great baskets and she can't do puzzles, but that's okay. We'll get there. Chris, hot, and I like him. James, step up your game. Step up your game, man. Wendell, okay, cool. I don't know. Michael, primo. Sebastian. My favorite thing that Sebastian said in the whole episode was when he was bonding with Chris, and he goes, "We just like sort of chumming. It was like two kids picking out gummies at a candy store," and I was like, "Perfect." I love that. I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know who Libby is. I don't know who Jenna is. Oh, Laurel. Laurel's the black girl that did the puzzle as well. She's great. I like her.
Me too.
I like her. I think that she's gonna be very similar to like Aubrey and like that little like the nerdy kind of type that's like strategic.
Yeah.
Stephanie J, awesome. She's my pick to win the whole thing, I think. Jacob, gone. Brendan, I think he's just gonna like be. He's not gonna make it to the end.
He's not strategic. He's annoying.
And Dominic, just hate guys like that.
Who's Bradley?
Bradley also didn't speak either.
I don't even know who that is.
Bradley didn't speak either. He's my pick, and he's on the tribe that won. So if they didn't speak, then they'll speak when they lose next time.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like if your tribe goes to tribal council, your tribe will speak wrong. Editing.
Yeah, I don't. Is he the little? No, I don't know. Whatever.
Wow.
Anyways, so we're still pretty neck and neck considering I've lost 2 players. I'm pretty happy about that because like I hadn't gone to the points and I just was like bummed that like I was already down 2 people and I was like, man, like I'm really competitive, so obviously like I really want to win. And so, but I'm happy that we're still pretty even. Anybody's game.
Super early, first episode. Yeah, so we're good. There's still 18 people left. So you know. All right, so thank you all for watching. Survivor's a hard game, and I love reality TV, and we I don't know what else to say. But thank you for watching. Subscribe. Yes. If you have any questions about Survivor you want us to talk about, if you have any opinions, if you disagree with ours, cool, share, whatever. We're down to discuss. We see all aspects of every situation. And subscribe at the button.
Yeah, your button.
Down here. Cool. Yeah. And you can email us at allstar review at gmail.com.
It's all stars. I think there's an S in there.
All Stars Review. Sorry. And or you can follow us on Instagram at Realness with 3 S's.
Yeah.
And my name is Michael Pez. You can find me at Michael Pez.
Or you can find me at ChanFranFran, ChanFranFran. That's my regular one. Or my tarot reading Instagram is Misty_arrow. So you can find me at either one.
So perfect. Thank you all for watching, and don't get snuffed out. I don't know. I just came up with that now.
Snuffed.